Hey, it's Jeff from ACME Live Scan and Notary, and today I wanted to talk about apostille work or documents that need to go outside of the country. And specifically, I wanted to talk about errors in notarial certificates. So I had the opportunity today last week, I went up to the Secretary of State and dropped some documents off, and I knew that a document, it was notarized by another notary, that there was a problem. And I told the Secretary of State, I said, I'm not sure about this one. This one might not be good. And the guy came back and said, yep, there's a problem. And I got a letter. So they print out this letter and say, hey, we can't fulfill your request because there's a problem. And in this particular situation, the signature of the notary did not match what the Secretary of State had on file. So this can happen to any notary, okay? So this is not specific to this particular notary. This particular notary, he started signing his name but didn't complete signing it. So that was why I knew this was an issue. However, I know of notaries that had signed their name and it just doesn't match. They sign it differently. They forgot how they signed their name on their application. Whatever it might be, it doesn't match, okay? And so the person gets this kind of information. They get this, they take their document to the Secretary of State. Secretary of State says, hey, we can't do it because it doesn't match, okay? So if you're a notary, make sure that your signature is always consistent and matches. Now, if you have a signature that's all scribbly, whatever, that's fine, and you'll probably not have that issue for the Secretary of State. But if you have a signature that's recognizable, like mine's recognizable, I sign my first and last name, and you can see it. It's all cursive and everything, and it's not perfect or anything, but it's consistently the same looking two-word type, first and last name, so it's okay. Not saying that I can't get rejected because they have a grading system up there, but you want to be as consistent as possible when you're doing your signature. Now, that's only one reason why you'd be rejected. There's other reasons that it can be rejected, and I'm actually surprised, and I'm not going to show the certificate, but the notary didn't spell the county correctly and didn't write Notary Public after their name correctly. Like, it was messed up. It was, but that wasn't the reason it was rejected. But I'm just saying that when you fill out these certificates as a notary, please take your time. Go through it, because you don't know where these documents are going. It might be a handwritten letter that you notarize, and it magically ends up to the Secretary of State and gets rejected for a number of reasons. One might be the county, you forgot to write the county name in. You might forgot one of the other required elements because you were in a hurry trying to get in and out of an appointment to go to another appointment, or whatever the case may be. You need to slow down and take your time, okay? So if you slow down, you will actually speed up in the long run, okay? So if we all remember the story of the tortoise and the hare, who won the race? It was the tortoise. And you're like, how in the heck did that guy win? Well, because he was going slow, being consistent, and he was able to win. Whereas the rabbit or the hare was running around saying, hey, I'm super fast, get over here, and then taking naps and doing whatever he was doing, and they lost the race, okay? So he wasn't being consistent. And that's what notary work's about, is being consistent, making sure that you dot your I's, cross your T's, do everything right, and then you'll have no problem. Okay, so I just want to share that story with you. I know it's specific to apostille work, but it can relate to any notarization. It could be a loan signing. You forget to stamp the certificate, because I've had that problem too, even myself, not stamping the document, and then realizing at the end, because I double check my work and go, oh yeah, I forgot to stamp this document and stamp the certificate. So just be aware of that when you're doing notarizations, that you want to just double check your work. And even if I'm doing a general notarization, I will just second guess myself, saying, hey, let me just check the certificates again and just check to make sure all the elements are there and they're good to go. So hopefully that was helpful. And of course, this is not state specific, because everybody in their state, they have their elements, okay? So check to make sure that in your state all the elements are there on your certificates. I'm in California, so if something's going out of the state to another state, and I use their wording or whatever, I still need to make sure that everything on that certificate is filled in for wherever that it's going in that state, so that if it does end up at that Secretary of State, okay, which it won't, okay, but because I only could get authenticated here in California. But if it went to that other state, whatever document it was, and it had to be recorded, it's going to be filled in correctly, and they're going to be like, okay, great, I can take this. So that's what I'm trying to get at, is just double check your work, make sure all the elements are correct. The signature part, that's going to be specific to your state, wherever the Secretary of State or whoever authenticates your signature as a notary public in your state, they'll take care of that, and they'll be the only ones to deal with that. So generally it's going to be in your state when you do notarizations in your state, when you run into those issues. If it's going out of the state, and then it would be just county recorders and such dealing with if you messed up the notarization, they're going to just say, hey, it needs to be redone before it can be recorded. So hopefully that was helpful and just something to think about. And that's it. Have a great day, everyone. Like and subscribe if this was helpful. Thanks.